everyone. I'm Adam Brown, and this is Shell Point Today for Monday, July 18th. On today's show, Rita Southern will speak once again about the summertime assisted living tea and tours happening this week. We'll check in on the Nostalgia Band and talk about their root beer float event coming tomorrow. And Dan Philgreen takes us out to the estuary to see the replanting of some large trees. But first, we'd like to remind you that Thomas Terrell, a retired lawyer and former economic advisor to the UK government, will present the second session of the Transatlantic Alliance Academy class on Wednesday. This session, entitled Rolling Back Hard-Won Freedoms, deals with the aftermath of World War II and Europe's desire for a closer political union between them and the nations of the continent. Topics that will be addressed in this second session include the rise of a new nationalism, Central Europe's new democracies threatened by their leaders, Europe's refugees, and after the Brexit, now what? And much more. Be sure to sign up for this class that takes place Wednesday in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands at 11:30 a.m. If you're looking for great food and good times, then take the dinner outing tomorrow to Sip's Place on Sanibel Island. Court pickups begin at 4:30 p.m. for this venture to an island dining treasure, where delicious food and warm, casual, and friendly ambiance await you. Choose from indoor dining or covered patio seating and entrees that range from $16.95 to $26.95. The cost of the outing is $7 with dinner on your own. Make sure to sign up for Sip's Place on Sanibel. Tomorrow afternoon is the time for some nostalgia. In the Social Center at 1:15, you can join your Shell Point neighbors and friends and enjoy music from the 1950s, performed by Shell Point's resident group entitled, you guessed it, Nostalgia. The concert will be followed by complimentary root beer floats. Now that's a yummy, sweet summer event you won't want to miss. Last week, we checked in on the Nostalgia group to get a preview of their music that you'll hear on Tuesday. The Assisted Living's tea and tour events afford the opportunity for you to learn about the continuum of care here at Shell Point, tour the assisted living facilities, and meet with your case manager. With all the latest information, here's the Director of Assisted Living, Rita Southern.
Hi, I'm Rita Southern. I'm the Director of Assisted Living here at Shell Point. I'd like to offer you an opportunity this summer to attend a tea-in tour of one of our assisted living facilities here at Shell Point. It's an opportunity to come and tour an assisted living facility of your choice and listen to a presentation about the services and amenities that you have available to you as a Shell Point resident. This is an opportunity for you as a Shell Point resident to gather information as you plan for the future of when you would like to go to assisted living, what you can expect in the way of services, what pathway to follow as you make that decision, which assisted living facility would I like to move to. We look at making resident apartments available to you to tour. It's always interesting as you make your way through one or the other of the buildings to find a neighbor that you know and get acquainted with their apartment. Our residents really enjoy opening their apartments and greeting residents as they tour, and enjoy the pride that they have at offering their homes for their fellow neighbors to come and look at. One of the benefits of enjoying these tea-in tours is, as our Shell Point residents are planners, it's critical to ask questions and get the information that you as a resident will need to understand, when do I really need to start thinking about assisted living? What are the key signs that I'm going to be looking for? What are the questions I should be asking? Maybe my family might like the opportunity to look at assisted living. If you do have family visiting or friends visiting over the summer months, this is a great opportunity to invite them to attend the tea-in tours with you. They're welcome to come. We've got plenty of space. It is important, as you look at the dates for our teas, that you make that reservation call. Let me go over those dates with you. We have the July 19th date on Tuesday, July 19th at the Arbor. That'll be at 9 a.m. We're offering the tea at the Springs on July 21st at 2:30. And then we'll be offering again at the King's Crown on July 28th at 9:30. I would ask that as you think about making that reservation, that you call 454-2077 and just let the staff know that you'll be attending. The thing that you also would want to keep in mind, if you attend one of those presentations, then you're welcome to just simply come for the tour only of the other two presentations. That way you don't have to stay for the full presentation. You can just enjoy the tour. But this is really a great opportunity to put that time and effort into gathering information. Perhaps not now, perhaps not for the immediate future, but for the coming future, for a time down the road when you don't know what might be coming. You just want to have the information and be ready and prepared, as all Shell Point residents do. We're looking forward to seeing you at the coming tea-in tour. Have a great summer, and we'll see you then.
Live oak trees that have been growing by the chiller plant just southwest of Eagles Preserve are getting new homes over at the Estuary. These trees will serve a better purpose by providing shade and enhancement to the beautiful estuary property. The trees are getting a new view, as if they could actually see, and estuary residents are getting a new view of the trees. Hey, it's a win-win for everyone.
Well, it's summertime at Shell Point, and work continues over here at the estuary today. They're moving some live oak trees. Now, you know, the Shell Point yard crew has a nursery to grow all kinds of plants, but they actually have been growing these live oak trees. They've been growing along the road right across from the chiller plant. Now, you can imagine what it would cost to buy one of these trees and have it brought in, but They've been growing there, and now every other one along the road across from the chiller plant is being dug up and transplanted over here around some of the homes in the estuary. It's going to be a really beautiful addition, and imagine what it's going to look like about 10 years down the road when these trees get big. It's going to be beautiful.
And now it's time to cover all of Monday's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections. Right after this, listening to the Words preview from David Howenstein.
I have mentioned before here on Listening to the Words that I love actors, no matter what the medium in which they appear. After all, it was Shakespeare who referred to all the world as a stage and all of us as players. We're going to hear from and about some of those players on this week's program. That includes the next installment in my biographical series, this one titled Falling in Love with Radio. Then a tipping of the hat to Garrison Keillor, who has retired recently from his Prairie Home Companion radio program. Then the latest from two-time Oscar winner Sally Field. Then another longtime actress, Vanessa Redgrave, speaks out, just barely. Next, Joan Marshall reads aloud the story of falling in love in Paris. Finally, a heartfelt piece called The Magic of Movies. David Howenstein reminding you that you can hear this 30-minute program at the top and bottom of each hour all 7 days this week through Sunday by tuning to Shell Point Channel 12 on your TV. Thank you for listening to the Words.
Hello and welcome to the Happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley.
And I'm Caitlin Van Scoy.
We're going to go over the activities that we offer for you here today at Shell Point. We're going to start with an 8 o'clock men's round robin tennis down at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. At 8:45, you'll find virtual bowling in the Resident Activities Center. Also at 9:15, we have billiards at the Resident Activities Center. And we have the Lollygaggers paddlers going out from the kayak storage facility at 9:15. And the final 9:15 activity is pottery with instruction available down in the pottery studio. 10 o'clock's the time for men's match play tennis at the Woodlands. And our Susie Q boat is heading out at 10 o'clock. They'll be going to Matanzas on the Bay. You do need to sign up for those. We have a Health Connections class at 10:15, Living Well with Knee Osteoarthritis. That'll be in the Social Center, and you do need to sign up for that. At 10:30, the Disciple Men's Bible Study Group will be in the game room of the Woodlands. And there will be a table tennis playing clinic in the Island Tunnel at 10:45. Our final activity of the morning is 11:30 Health Connections class, Agility, Balance, and Flexibility. That'll be in the Tarpon Room on the island. Here's Caitlin. She's going to go over the afternoon lineup for you.
Thank you, Bev. The Mahjong group will be in the Cove at the Estuary at 12 o'clock. And then moving to 12:45, we have a Health Connections class, Zumba Fitness in the Tarpon Room. That one is currently closed. Samba the card game will be available at 1:15 at the Resident Activity Center. And we move to 1:45 for Balance and Mobility Advanced. That's in the Tarpon Room and sign up is required. Pilates Stretch will be held in the Tarpon Room at 3 o'clock. And 5 o'clock's the time for the singles table. That'll be available at the Crystal Dining Room. Beginner square dancing is in the Tarpon Room at 6:30. Also at 6:30, Duplicate Bridge is being played in the game room of the Woodlands. Tonight's the night for the Village Church movie night at 6:45. The movie is Woodlawn. That's a 2015 film at the Social Center. Our last Monday activity is square dancing in the Tarpon Room, and that's at 7:30. Well, Bev and I are both happy to see you here today. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Colath with your Academy information for Monday, July 18th. At 10:15, we have iPad calendars continuing in the Manatee Room on the island. At 10:30, Anatomy of Words will continue to meet in the Oak Room of the Woodlands, and they welcome everyone. Tomorrow, I'd like to tell you about a new class that we're having for Coffee with a Neighbor. It's called Teaching Videography in Cuba. George Waters of Palmakers is our presenter. Penny Modrich of Nautilus will also be presenting iPad contacts.
Menus for Monday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is chicken parmesan with spaghetti and roasted eggplant. The dinner special is Old Home Cooking Night for $13.95. The soup of the day is split pea. In the Island Cafe, the sandwich special is a chicken parmesan sandwich with a side salad for $7.75. And the Palm Grill is closed on Mondays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm Andy Hawkins, the senior pastor of the Village Church, and I'm here with my friend Darryl Larson. And Darryl, we're here to talk about one of our movie nights that the Village Church has been sponsoring recently, that are generally have been held in the social center on Monday evenings every now and then. Right. Not every week, but every quarter or something like that. And we have an opportunity coming up this coming Monday evening at 6:45 in the Social Center for people to gather and watch Woodlawn, which is an interesting movie, I understand. And tell us a little bit about the background of this movie.
Well, it's a movie that hits some key themes and passions like race, faith, and football.
How about that?
You know, that covers a lot of territory.
Sounds like all-American stuff right there. Yeah, all right.
And it takes place in Birmingham, Alabama, in the early 70s. People can remember that far back, I think.
I trust.
And in those days, Birmingham was almost called by some people Bombingham.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was a lot of racial tension going on. The governor of Alabama at that time was George Wallace, who was known for his frankness and other things.
Yes, yeah.
And then, but they also had a very famous coach at the University of Alabama, who everyone remembers as Coach Bryant. And so actually both of these characters show up in the movie. So it has a very broad interest. I mean, you don't have to like football to like this movie, although there's plenty of football in it. The name Woodlawn comes from the name of a high school. There's a high school, I suppose it's still there, in Birmingham that during the early 70s began to be integrated. And with all the tension that caused, but the high school coach did his best to bring the white players and the colored players together. But he did so with the help of a man he didn't know, who I think represented the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
I see.
And he came and wanted to talk to the team, because he was very much aware of the tension that was going on in the city, in the country, and even between the players. So he began to talk about Jesus. And then he'd come to the games and got to know the players well. It's a role that's played by Sean Astin, who some people may remember from Lord of the Rings. He was Samwise. And anyway, so he engages the players and the coach, and he is able to be a voice for Jesus.
Yeah.
And in the whole city. And there is a black running back, Tony Nathan, who's a great running back, but he wasn't first string. And then when they got him to play, he just tore up the field and led the Woodlawn team into a championship. So there's a lot of interesting things that go on in the movie. I'm sure a lot of people will find it very interesting.
Yeah. Now, the main issue here, obviously, is how the Lord Jesus was able to affect some significant degree of racial reconciliation, not only within the players, but also in this particular community. And, of course, the other part of it is, this is actually a true story, isn't it?
Yeah, it really happened.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, on the movie, there are scenes that you would have seen on the news broadcasts. Birmingham was a very tense city at that time, and all the pressure that was coming about with the integration of blacks and whites in the city, in the school, on the team. But the key to it was how faith really began to draw these players together. Not only were they good football players, but they meshed as a team.
Right.
And the coach was very much influenced by this happening.
Right. Good movies are always about somebody being transformed, aren't they? And so, if I understand that this coach, skeptical at first about this kind of thing, actually was deeply changed.
He was. Yeah. So people will enjoy it, I'm sure, and see the relevance of it to today's culture as well. And to see a player who, as a high school player, ultimately went on to play for the University of Alabama, for Coach Bryant, for Bear Bryant, and then had an NFL career. So it's very historical.
Yes.
And people will enjoy it, I'm sure.
Well, I think it's the kind of thing that all of us in this community remember those times.
Yes.
And depending on where we lived, more or less remembered very significant dimensions of it. Obviously, various parts of the country were deeply involved in the tensions, the racial tensions at that time. But we still find ourselves in a world, in a nation that has these kinds of racial tensions, maybe not in the same way or to the same degree, but they're very significantly still there. So the message, I think, is not only historically relevant, but relevant even today, don't you think?
Very much so. I mean, when I saw it, I thought, my goodness, I didn't remember all of this was going on. I was living in Massachusetts at that time, and I was engaged with my responsibilities and family life there. I was always interested in football, but I wasn't quite up to speed on what was going on in Birmingham. But the Southerners, people who lived there, would remember this very well.
Absolutely,
And so it deals with topics, the reality of faith and the transforming power of Jesus in dealing with these key issues, which are still very much with us.
Absolutely. Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. I think that this will be very well received by our community, and people will look forward to seeing Woodlawn. It's going to be presented on Monday, this coming Monday, the 18th at 6:45 in the Social Center. We hope that you'll join us.
Thanks for joining us on today's program. On tomorrow's show, we'll learn about ocular surface eye health from Dr. Elmquist. And Jeff Corey of the Legacy Foundation will get a visit from a suspicious woman who is desperate for his help with managing her finances. Well, until then, this has been Shell Point Today for Monday, July 18th. We want to thank you for taking the time to visit with us today, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.